Welcome to the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. Welcome to ITSP Magazine Podcast Radio. You're about to listen to an episode of Through the TechVine. So be quiet, pay attention, and get inspired. There is one truth that is not told enough. Technology is not magic, but it can be magical. Technology is human. It is part of who we are, our evolution, our future. Will it be a dystopian or utopian one? Well, that is up to us and nobody else. Knowledge is power, now more than ever. Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net.
We are.
Here, the vine is alive.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
And we're still here blobbing.
Still here?
Blah, 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 blah.
We are having
I just
fun.
stayed in the channel live the whole time.
Wait, is this AI Sean, though, or real Sean?
Well, AI is the only one that can do that, yes.
Okay.
You're
So
doing
who you have today.
You're doing the Truman Show. So people can just come here every time they want and they can hear what you're saying.
Yes.
I'm going to pass on that one. Thank you.
Very
I
confident.
advise you to.
Unless you have a producer, a script, and a really good story, I'm going to pass on that. I'd rather have you for...
Some tells me I didn't prep much for it. No. The AI is not helping much either.
Well, I know one thing. I always look forward for this, and I have fun. And now, lately, I'm actually having even more fun because as much as I love you two, I love to have guests because it gives a little new angle on the conversation. And today, yes, it's true. We have another guest, so we're on a roll. And I'm going to pass it to Diana
Drum roll,
again.
please.
To introduce our guest because again there is a connection here.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so Lynn Dohm is the executive director of WiCyS, and WiCyS is the Women in Cybersecurity organization, an international organization devoted to the recruitment and retaining of women in cybersecurity. And Lynn has just transformed the way that the organization works. She's tireless. She is creative. She has grown community engagement and gets out and does so much public speaking on behalf of WiCyS, and just an amazing human being. So welcome, Lynn. We're just so happy to have you here on TechVine and also your leadership at WiCyS.
Thank you, Diana. That was a very kind introduction. I greatly appreciate that. But WiCyS makes it very easy to definitely be executive director. It's the power of community, and it's the community that's so energizing and inspiring and so motivating to do more. I mean, there's so much more work to do, and it's my pleasure to be in this capacity and be able to have the shared experience with everyone.
We're very excited to have you, and we cherish the relationship that we have with you and other organizations as well. I'm not gonna say we don't enjoy when we talk to other that do very, very good for the community, for diversity, for inclusion, and all of that. But I gotta agree with Diana. I mean, you guys have grown so much in the last few years. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's been really great. We really started putting out a lot of these programs, and they've taken off. I mean, WiCyS has always had the conference, and we started as a conference, and that was really exciting. And then when we became a 501c3 in 2018, there's many other initiatives. But then we really, in 2020, we used the time of COVID to really just embrace the moment and lean in and see what the community needs. And we just launched into these different type of training programs. And it's been just these learning series where everyone's just putting more experience under their belt and adding more to their LinkedIn profiles, adding more to their resumes, being able to speak to these experiences and getting out there. And it's like I said earlier, it's just very energizing. So it's helpful when you have that momentum of the community behind you to kind of project that growth and keep going at it strong.
No, go ahead, Diana.
I was just going to say, and Lynn, you recently are expanding the mentorship program at WiCyS. Is that right?
Yes, we did. So the mentoring program was launched in 2020, just as a piloted program. We had a WiCyS member that reached out to me in January of 2020, like, hey, Lynn, I want to revisit your mentoring program. Let's develop a curriculum and let's really empower and inspire everyone and put it into this cohort setting and see what that looks like. And so we brainstormed, we had a committee that formed, and we put together this 12-month structured framework, and the curriculum was all designed to upskill and up-level women no matter where they're at in their career, preparing them for their next level of advancement. So we kind of tossed it out there as a piloted program. We had over 1,000 people enroll in it. We were blown away. And they were all WiCyS members. I mean, it was just amazing. It was outstanding. But we manually ran it. It literally, like, we did the matching. We matched the cohorts ourselves. And, I had a lot of help with that. I mean, definitely Morgan, our operations manager, really took the lead, and we had a lot of key volunteers about doing all that matching process. And so we did it, and it was designed to kind of bridge that gap of what is it like, to start developing those relationships in the mentor-mentee capacity and have these resources available to take away any awkwardness and to start the conversation. And it was just great. It was wonderful. So we decided to do it for 2021, and we're really proud to announce that final numbers are in, and pairing process is taking place on Monday, and we have 171 mentors and 755 mentees in the program this year. It's really cool.
And Lynn, are you managing that all on yellow pad notebooks?
Lessons learned. No. We after last year, we realized that this is definitely a program that's so needed by the community, but so not scalable. Like, we just don't have the bandwidth to be able to do all that manual work. And it was just endless hours that we were putting into it. If a mentor had a family situation and those mentees needed to go to another cohort, it was just countless hours that we were devoting to it. So our operations manager was determined not to do that again, and we supported her. And she went out and did a lot of research, and we landed on the software, the Together software. And we were fortunate that one of our strategic partners, Workday, then funded WiCyS.org to be able to use the Together software. And it really took a lot of the pain points out. I mean, essentially all the pain points were disappeared by putting it all in the software and having the algorithm do its magic.
Yeah, and I think that, for me, this is what ITSP Magazine is all about, right? It's a connection of technology, cybersecurity, and society. And what you just described is putting technology to work to help a large group of individuals find mentors and mentees to work with each other. That's the society, and all around helping us do better with cybersecurity, right? So a great example of all that coming together for us.
And you know what? A great example of how to use technology for the right matching instead of what kind of ad I'm going to see and what kind of product that you're trying to sell me, or even other things that are driven by money. Right. The thing that we do here is driven by humanity. And as Sean said, this is what we do. And those are the reasons that get us excited to talk about technology. And
Through the TechVine is all about that next level. It's not just what's possible and what's potentially wrong with it, but how does it help? What's the value of these investments? It doesn't have to be money. How's it helping us live, interact with each other, save the planet, all that good stuff?
And we need the money. So it's going to translate in people having the money to live and people doing the job that they love to do, so that the job is not just a chore, but they're matched in the right way. So when Lynn, when you were telling me about this, I'm envisioning, it's a matchmaking that is used in so many different situation, from matchmaking of couples to matchmaking of employing, and in this case for mentorship, and something that it's going to hopefully help to do the right thing and choose the right path, and hopefully without too much bias, which it's hard, but it's hard not to have it, but we're all working together on that, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's exactly it. And we were really fortunate to be able to partner with Together Software that helped us be able to do this matching system. I mean, the key is to develop the deeper relationships in the mentor-mentee relationship, and to have that professional development piece come out at the end of it. So, so we're thrilled with where we're at with it so far.
Very cool, very cool. And I don't know, Diana, before we start talking about the tech news and this Harley Davidson stop driving around here, I'm curious because we know your dogs, and now on the profile we see a little kitty cat that I think it has a good story for going into Halloween.
Yeah, so this is Vladimir that you're seeing, and he is very graciously allowing lasted about 60 seconds. We put a little tiny vampire cape on him, for he's looking like Vlad the Impaler for Halloween. But he was actually adopted in October from the Northeast Animal Shelter in Salem, Massachusetts. And it just happened to be, we had very, very sadly lost another cat, a beloved cat, to lymphoma that had come up. It was the first sign that we had that he was sick. He fell over and he was dead at the vet. They put him in an oxygen tent. We brought him to the emergency room, and he's dead very quickly. So we were very, very, very sad. It happened to be in October. So that's why we were at the animal shelter. We live near Salem. So that's why we were at that animal shelter in October. But we had never had so many questions about adopting a pet before. We've adopted many, many pets. It's, we're used to the drill. And this guy was just really, really asking us a ton more questions than normal. Finally, I said, look, is there something different right now? Because, we've adopted a lot of pets before. We lost our last pet. And he said, well, no, it's not you guys. It's that it's October and we're in Salem and this is an all black cat. And we said, oh, because apparently some people want black cats in October in Salem, and for who knows what.
Which is cat. That's the thing.
I hope they keep it after October. It's not one of those things.
I wasn't sure. Maybe they thought that they would just get rid of. We do joke though at the end of October. We tell them, "Oh, well, you're not seasonally appropriate." But no, of course it's a joke. He's ours year round.
I hope it keeps the cape the whole time, because it looks really cute with it.
Yeah, it seriously, it was about 60 seconds that he kept that on, and then he was like, nope.
So cute. Lynn, are you excited about Halloween? Because we are.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, of course. Yes, this morning actually we have this 7-foot mummy. Normally I have it outside, but I forgot to put it out earlier, and so a week ago I dragged it up from the basement and put it in my son's shower to scare him. So, it must have worked, because when I came home from running some errands, I opened up the utility room door, coming in from the garage to the utility room door, and there's this 7-foot mummy, right there staring at me in the dark utility room. So it scared the bejesus out of me. And we let that mummy sit there for a week. And I'm not kidding you. I'd wake up to go work out in the morning. It's dark out. And when I come back, it's still dark out. I walk in the utility room every morning. I would be scared. I'm like, how is this thing still scaring me? And I'm it out. Clearly I know it's here when I'm walking in. But so this morning, after my youngest is 17, so he's the only one at home right now. So after he went off to school, I thought, well, it's time to move this mummy. So I put it in the pantry. So I'm waiting for him, but this is ridiculous. So here I put it in the pantry, and I go and grab a snack earlier, and it scared the hell out of me. I screamed. I'm home alone. I had this 7-foot mummy just glaring down. I took a picture of it and I put it on Twitter. I mean, you can see this picture. I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, and so I'm almost afraid of what the repercussions are going to be from now. Like, I'm taking it a little too far, and it's going to go big by him, and I'm scared. So, but
I just went on your Twitter. This is pretty scary.
it's pretty
okay. It's not that little inflatable mummy or anything that I see around here. This is serious. This is like just walk away from an Indiana Jones movie. Very cool.
Big glaring eyes on me. So
yeah.
So
it is. I'm looking at it now, and I agree. That looks like it's in a movie or something. It's.
I can't look at it. It's too scary.
It's scary.
I feel like it's gonna remove the bandage. It's gonna look like Eddie from Iron Maiden. I'm sure somebody knows what I'm talking about here, but yeah, that got my feeling. It got that scary.
Yeah.
It'd be hard to adopt that one.
yeah. I got to move that mummy outside and just get rid of it. Like, I have to get it on the front porch where it was meant to be and stop some shenanigans, because I don't want it to come back around to me. And I know it is. And it
will come back. It will come back.
I'm a scaredy cat. I'm so scared. I can't watch scary movies. It's like, but I love scaring people. That's the crazy thing.
Ah, okay. Yeah. There you go. See, I'm not a big fan of scary movies, so my Halloween is usually on the light side. You know, The Nightmare Before Christmas and other things. I did mostly lighting and pumpkin in the front yard. But yeah, and we're gonna get more and more into this conversation, I think, in the next 2 episodes as we get closer to Halloween. But I would say let's get hopefully not too scared by the news that we picked this week. Diana, what you got?
All right, not scary at all.
Spicy. It looks like it's spicy. More.
It's got some spice in it, but no, really in a good way. So so very interestingly, I did not realize this, but there are a lot of plants that don't like full sun. And plants are sort of more used to growing in a little, not like a deep forest, but in sort of more a forest kind of like. And so even the agriculture plants that we think about, the crops that we eat, they are used to not actually growing in full sun. They're used to having a little bit of cover, getting that diffuse light that bounces off of other things. And they feel like they can actually get stressed out and uncomfortable if they're in full sun. It feels it's not great for them. Too many photons, and they don't like it. So they actually prefer being in this more diffuse kind of environment. And a lot of plants will grow much bigger leaves when they're not in that full sun. So it's like physiologically and sort of psychologically, if you could say that about a plant, it's actually better for them not to be in full sun. For most plants, they actually like a little bit of this diffuse light. And then the other thing that was really interesting about plants that I just learned is that they sweat. And so that they actually give off some cooling from their sweat to the environment around them, so they can help lower the temperature of the places that they are. And that they use water much more efficiently when they're in this more diffuse, a little bit of a canopy kind of a situation. So these plants that like to be a little bit more diffuse.
I'm going to pause you, Diana, because it sounds like you're describing an engineer. They're like dark, they sweat, they preserve water by drinking Mountain Dew.
And coffee.
I had not thought of that. But so you're right. Maybe there's a little bit, engineers could be a little like plants. But so people were looking at, if you look at what's happening in the farming industry, some of the farmers are saying we can't afford to grow crops anymore. But what we can do is we can create these giant solar arrays with massive photovoltaics and create basically solar farms. So some farmers are actually converting their fields to giant photovoltaic solar arrays, and enter this new word, which is agrivoltaics, where the folks that understand plants and what plants like and what plants crave, now they don't crave Mountain Dew, but what plants like, and what you can do with photovoltaic solar arrays, and they created this mashup called agrivoltaics, where they're studying if it can be healthier and better for plants to grow underneath the solar panels. And so far, so one farmer has covered 4 acres with enough photovoltaics to capture electricity for 4 homes, and is also growing carrots and kale and tomatoes and garlic and beets. And someone who's just devoted to this as research right now is an earth scientist at University of Arizona, Greg Barron Gafford. And he's got a grant from the National Institute of Food and Agriculture, and he's researching photovoltaics or agrivoltaics. And he started out with, he decided to figure out what happens with salsa ingredients. So his first tests were with cilantro and peppers and tomatoes. And he found that they all grew better under the solar panels for things like the cilantro, right? Their leaves are getting bigger because they're less stressed, and it's more that forest-like environment. So their leaves are bigger. And they used half as much water to grow the salsa veggies, the salsa veggies in underneath photovoltaics versus salsa veggies in full sun. So it's good for the environment. It's good for water reclamation. It's good for the health of the plants because it's more natural for them. So all of this is just really, I thought it was very, very cool, taking an existing tech, but applying new science and research to it to create agrivoltaics. And they're going to continue the research to find out which crops are going to be the best suited for agrivoltaic growth in the future.
Once again, we're learning from Mother Nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking as you were going quickly, I mean, they all, when we are in kids in school and we study the photosynthesis and how plants, they get energy and convert it in nutriment from the sun. I was wondering if there is a connection with that, like maybe an amplified sun or more of a energy electric field that goes around it, maybe part of that. I don't know. Sounds cool.
Well, so they actually do help the photovoltaics, because when they're sweating, that's giving off that temperature cooling. So it helps to make the solar array more efficient. And then the bit of cover over the plant, so it's not that full sun, helps them. I guess plants prefer to do photosynthesis with a little bit of shade and cover, and not, which I kind of get. I mean, if you're thinking about being
too
outside,
much, they overload.
Yeah. Apparently they overload. It stresses them out.
Yeah.
Too much sun.
Is this? I'm trying to picture this. I'll say equipment. It's not a panel. Is it a sheet? Like cloth or something? What is it?
So it's a similar to what you've seen for photovoltaics, but they space them in a way that gives enough diffuse light and that the plants get planted literally underneath. So they're kind of creating this canopy for the plants. They still get enough light to grow.
Like a greenhouse, but sort of.
So imagine a field we've all seen those solar fields. So imagine a big solar field, but with spacing done in such a way that underneath the solar panels, you have corn or in the case of this one science experiment, cilantro and peppers and tomatoes. So you can make salsa.
Talking about optimizing space.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And so that whole, for the farms that are trying to reclaim by going to solar, maybe they don't have to choose farming or solar. Maybe they can agrivoltaic it and do a bit of both.
Very cool. And it make me think, and maybe then Lynn can jump in on this if she has something to say, or if she hasn't been taken by the mummy.
No.
There is a company that makes a solar panel that are inspired by sunflower. They're quite expensive, but I saw that what is really cool about it is that in the morning, they come out from this cone, and each single one of the panel it's kind of like if you look at the satellite, the way that they origami their panels around. And then as the sun moves, they always follow the direction of the sun. So your solar absorption, it's always optimized at that 90 degrees angle. And then if it's stormy, if it rains or anything, and at night, it just folds like the flower, and just go back into the cocoon. So I thought that was very inspired by nature as well. Very cool.
Yes, I have seen those, and they're gorgeous how they open and close. Like they're almost like pieces of art in addition to being really great
Yeah, because space
solar
dish,
captures.
like
Yeah.
like one of these you use to capture the signals from space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lynn, what do you think?
And yet, do you
You're
eat any
changing
carrots
business?
in your salsa?
No, I'm just fascinated with it all. I love learning about these new technologies and how they're solving these worldly problems. But yes, definitely relying on nature and, observing that and building upon that is just so fascinating. So it's good to hear about it.
And Marco, do you have a downside? You're usually the one that's like you get skeptical. You see any downsides to this?
No.
Okay.
There's just two things that I love together, and I am more and more, fascinated by it. And we talked in the past how many of the solutions today, biorobotics, and the way we study things in the natural world that we weren't able to study before, right? With more
Yeah.
technology to do that, and then using what the technology, let's say, that Mother Nature has built in many centuries and a million of years of life, and learn from it, and then be able to replicate it. The roots that will go under the soil, and the way that a gecko, we talked about that last time, a gecko can climb on the walls, and then you can use that for doing robotics and then study the environment and so forth. So no negative at all.
I'm just picturing this field, and because you said water reclamation, and I was like, okay, what? And now I'm picturing the water running off the end of the panel into a drain ditch that all feeds back to some place that can maybe gets pumped back to rewater the plants or something. Or
Nice. Yeah, I like that.
Another thing I was thinking, so how does this change beyond just the plants' viability or growing in a different way? Does it change how harvesting is done? Does it change the need for pest control in a different way? Does it introduce pests to protect against pests? I don't know. Maybe it didn't say in the article.
They get burned.
These are things that I'm
The
thinking
insect
about
get burned by the solar panel.
So that's a good point. I think that's why there's further research. People might just say, just plant a bunch of stuff under solar. But I think you make a good point about, could it change, pests or something else in the ecosystem? But as far as the folks in the farmers in the field, they think it might actually be long-term benefit, because as the plants are helping to cool the air around them and to make the photovoltaics cooler, it could make it actually cooler in the field for the farm workers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it comes down to optimizing space too. Like many companies are trying, and I think there are some countries are doing that when they're rebuilding road, they do it in a way that they can recharge an electric car as the car drives through it, or maybe do it as a solar panel so that space become an energy source as well. And of course, refitting buildings with solar panel all over, and mirrors and glasses that can absorb the light and convert in energy. So a lot of ideas. I'm sure there is brilliant people working on it already.
Yes. Yeah. Thank goodness that they're very smart earth scientists who are thinking in really creative ways and trying to advance this kind of work.
For sure. Sean, you get some photovoltaic news too? Spicy.
I'm sticking with the food.
The enabler.
The question is, Marco, is spicy good food, or spicy food good for you? If I can only speak.
Apparently they say that like red pepper is really good for circulation and rheumatoid arthritis and all that kind of stuff. So I think so.
Good for me.
I know you eat it and you love it, because I've been there with you. So
eat all kinds of stuff.
I think it's good for you.
It's good when you douse it in sauce and salt. No, so the news that I have, and it's not new news necessarily, but it's something a little documentary I saw on BBC, and it's basically a saliva swab DNA test that is connected to an app, of course, that then tells you what's good for you based on your DNA to eat or to avoid. And at the surface, it seems pretty cool, right? It presumably could tell if you're lactose intolerant or allergic to wheat, or if you're extra sensitive to salt or fats or sugars or caffeines and things like that. And so at first blush, it was like, okay, this seems really fun. At least you know, okay, based on how my body is made up and how it functions, these are the things that work good for me. You get a little green box. These are the things that are bad for me. You get a little red box. And presumably you can scan a label and it'll tell you which products, which funny enough, that means they're processed packaged products. But anyway, which things are better for you. So you could choose one cracker over another or one cookie over another. And it seemed cool. The one thing that also struck me was that they were saying that salt is bad and sugar is bad and caffeine's bad. I'm like, do I really need an app to tell me that that's not good for my body? But anyway, this idea that the DNA might help shape the way that we eat and select the foods that we purchase and then consume.
That's really interesting, because I'm gluten-free. I have been for many, many years, like over 12 years. And I had symptoms for probably about 12 years before that. Oh. And when I went gluten-free, after 3 days, my symptoms like subsided. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what I could have done 12 years ago. Like nobody really knew much about it. And it wasn't really, the popular thing that it is now. I guess I did a pre-popular thing where everyone just like, what's wrong with her? Not eating those.
Trendsetter.
Yeah, that's right.
Was a trendsetter. Yeah. Unfortunately, all my children are gluten intolerant as well. So they say it's a curse that I gave them, but whatever, we won't go there. But oftentimes, I am very food sensitive to many things. And I'm very careful about cross-contamination and stuff, but I'll have reactions and I'm like, I wonder what else, like there has to be something else that I just can't seem to pinpoint because, when I was diagnosed, it was the real old school, food sensitivity diet where you eliminate everything and then you put one thing back in your diet and everything like that. But to have something like that, where it's like, if it's DNA or technology or an app, I mean, something to like ease the pain of not realizing, what some foods I might not be able to eat. It seems really innovative. But then again, we all don't want to be told one more time that we can't have the salt or the sugar. like everything is bad. Like I live off of chips and salsa. I bet you, there's probably something in there that I'm sensitive or allergic to that I would just die without in my diet because I can't go a day without some chips and salsa. So.
Although just because you could still, isn't there some Eddie Murphy? I think it might be Dr. Dolittle where one of his patients keeps eating like shellfish, even though it gives her hives. So I don't know, why would she be he's a vet. Anyway, but I love this. We actually tried a DNA about exercise and, because it was supposed to help you understand which exercise would be best for your body. And what was really interesting was it basically said apparently my DNA indicated that I'm the kind of person that can adjust to really long extended exercise. So endurance kind of exercise, which is true. I actually used to run about 50 miles a week regularly. And I started to put on weight as I was running at that level. And I wasn't eating a lot or anything. It was just because my body had actually adapted to Right. And I would tell people this and they're like, you're crazy. So it was actually kind of cool to see this DNA that's indicated that, yeah, I had the kind of DNA that would not respond well to long-term endurance exercise and would do much better with high intervals. So I love the idea of yeah, let's apply it to food, because as Lynn, as you were pointing out, these these allergy tests, the elimination diets are just horrible and draconian. You have to eat rice for 2 weeks or something before you even start introducing things back in. And I don't think that the allergy, the skin tests are quite as sensitive as enough. So I kind of love the idea of instead of having to go through a big elimination, what they do with our DNA after it is a whole other can of worms that Marco can go down, but that it can indicate what we could eat and not. I think that's really cool.
My pot is starting to steam, and
yes,
it's gonna whistle really soon.
You're a sweating flower.
Yeah, how can you not love this when it comes to prevention? Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I did one time those tests for the allergy, and I didn't even want to do it. I don't know why they did it. But I don't know. I guess I have some kind of rash, but I had it for a long time. It was just a skin rash. And so they did the whole process of putting the 3 million different elements in your skin in the back. Mm-hmm. And it turned out I don't trust that thing, because I came out to be a little bit allergic to dogs. And I said to the guy, dude, I got 4 dogs. So, and I'm fine. And then tomatoes, which is another thing that I pretty much can't even eat without tomatoes, is when I was a little kid and never had that consequence. So I'm not sure I trust that one unless you're really, 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 really allergic to something. The dark side of this is the same. It's what it comes when, we keep the privacy. What else are they going to learn there? I mean, I know the power of DNA. I mean, DNA with the new vaccine and working on the molecular structure, you can literally reverse disease if you just fix that broken link in the DNA. I mean, not the link, but the sequence that it's faulty. I mean, imagine that you could change that and you can get rid of cancer, diabetes, and a lot of other things, not just allergy. But I think it's inevitable. It's a good thing that comes with some side consequences.
Yeah, so there were 2 parts to this story. So one is the check, and then and then the other part was the scanning of the products.
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
That was a dark side from the companies selling stuff perspective.
Right.
If their product is consistently on the salt, sugar, carbohydrates list as bad, they're not going to really like that. So
that's a stretch. I mean, I can see for you, it's good to do this kind of exercise. You have this kind of allergy. This is probably the food that is better for you, maybe more protein, less carbs, and one thing and another. But to actually suggest you by scanning the commercial product, yeah, that's kind of weird.
And in this scenario, back to the privacy thing, the swabs were done in the store. So you give the DNA, wait 2 minutes.
Really?
Download the app, and your results go into the app, and you can start scanning away.
Hard pass on that. Thank you.
Yeah. There's
You're gonna go to 7-Eleven to just get a bottle of water, and they're gonna scan you? No.
Let's do it.
DNA test at the 7-Eleven. No problem there. Nothing to worry about here.
Distributed DNA. Yeah.
Is our DNA going to be like our social security numbers, where it's just, hey, everybody's going to know our DNA. It's public.
Yeah, well, social security number is so, and we still rely on it.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean the DNA. What is crazy talking about the DNA and where we can go with that again. I mean, once you put the sequence of the DNA together, which is done not too long ago, I don't want to say how many years, but I think maybe 20 years ago or something like that, and you needed a computer that had to be super powerful to do the the whole sequence of it. And now, of course, you can do it so much quicker, and you can go into do personalized cure that are, think about with cancer. I mean, if they give you this catch them all, that it's probably not even going to cure the cancer that somebody else, because it needs to be more specific, or same thing for other diseases. I had a news that I have 3 or 4 news I could bring, even if I put insert coins in my name. But there is one related to this, which is how this woman in California got cured with depression by implanting, very severe depression, implanting like some electrodes in her brain. Like they, we talked about, people that have Parkinson and other diseases. But this is so, you have to map what happened. So for 10 days, you map your brain, because you need to understand, because depression may be caused by so many different part of your brain and feeling and emotions. So you need to see what it really fires up. And then with this electrode, they release like this electric charge that you don't even realize. They pretty much kill this activity that causes depression. And this woman literally went from 5 years of impossible to live to pretty much go on. There is a scale for depression that goes to 1 to 54, I believe, and she was like close to 36, 37 on it. So I maybe say the number wrong, but she was on very high. And within 2-3 days that she did this, she was down on 10, which means you can live a regular life. So it's incredible, but it's not a cure for everyone. Everyone has to do it personalized. So the DNA is the same thing. I mean, they can give you what is best for you, but you got to give your brain scan mapping in this case, or you got to agree that somebody gets your DNA. What are you going to do?
Well, and from 7-Eleven, it's good value.
Right. Not at 7-Eleven, but
it would be okay if it was Wawa, I think, just not so. Yeah, but I mean, I wonder if how our brains fire and what's happening in our brain, if that's something that's, I mean, there's also that, think about how private that is, and would people want to protect that data? So either way, you've got something that they've got to study some part of you that's not visible to the regular human eye, some detail about you that, only with this kind of a test could you find out. So maybe, it doesn't matter if it's your DNA or the way that your brain fires, it's still PII of a different sort.
I think, and I thought about this a lot in the past, and is that, I mean, we are all in talk about cybersecurity quite a bit, which is security, which is your, the level of risk, the kind of things that you do, and what is worth the risk and what it isn't. I think that when the risk of the privacy of your DNA may be something in jeopardy, but with that you may cure something that is incurable or makes your life horrible, then what, I'm probably going to take that risk. But to know what is better for me to eat, if it's this brand or this other, to go back to Sean, your news, no, I will pass on that. Right? That's a little too much. I don't need that.
Although if you had severe food sensitivities, like Lynn has celiac, then that would be, and I had a really hard to figure out soy. I don't react well to soy. And soy is in everything, everybody. It's in everything. It's in gum. It's in some toothpaste. For a while, I was a vegetarian, not a vegan. And if the chickens ate soy pellets, which a lot of layer pellets are soy-based, then the eggs that the chicken lays will have soy in it. So if you're soy sensitive, so something like this DNA test would have been really welcome, because that was a pretty complex one and like Lynn was, I mean, celiac is one, it's really hard to find out for a lot of people.
What I'm saying is, and Lynn can voice on this, if that's gonna really make your life improve your life, of course, it's like every medicine has a side effect, but what is the side effect? Is it more or less than what it cure?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, but in the case of the the electrodes and the depression, I mean, depression is like a debilitating disease for some folks, and to be able to have the technology and not have, we've all heard the stories about like the antidepressants and the different type of drugs that are used to treat depression. And to your point, Marco, it brings on other instances and other side effects. And you really have to weigh the risk versus benefit. But for this, for some to be able to function and live their life without like that drug-induced state and really have that freedom to be able to function like as their whole self, they will have to take that risk versus benefit and see what's best for them.
Yeah,
and go out on a limb here and say that if we have enough data from enough people, perhaps there are things we can learn about how we're living that introduce this depression, and maybe we can avoid it altogether, so people don't have to actually have their brain scanned to figure out which parts are triggering and therefore have to treat it with whatever activity or drugs, whatever is needed.
And be proactive.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of catch it before, cure the problem before trying to.
Yeah, but I think in this case you're talking about a mental situation, really brain induced, and this in particular is a big breakthrough because you use it only at this point in people that they can cure it, depression, they can manage depression with medicines. There is no other alternative when you're like that high that you can even decide if you're gonna eat one thing or another, and you don't eat because of that.
Why is it the last resort?
What do you mean?
You're saying it's for people that aren't reacting to medication or other.
Well, I guess right now it requires. I mean,
the cost.
Yeah, I think it's still into at the beginning of this. That's why it's in the news. Is the technology reviews from the MIT, and how it's there, but it's not something that is easy to do. But then again, it may be like this sequence in the DNA. It may be that these 10 days that she had to go through to map her brain fire up when she was feeling in a way or in another, maybe just that you wear a helmet and in 10 minutes you know how to cure it. Sure. I think the future may easily be that.
I look how far we've come. I mean, I worked with someone like many, many, many years ago, and she was an older woman, and she was sharing with me, I mean, she suffered from depression, and she had the electric therapy, like where she got admitted into an institution and they shocked her like repetitively to rewire her brain to overcome, some of the challenges that she was going through. And just hearing those stories is just, archaic. I was just like, this is what some people have to go through. So, I mean, it's just interesting.
Yeah, and you have to do it safely. I mean, I think there is still many things in nowadays that we're so advanced compared with 50 years ago, 100 years ago. I don't even want to look at the Middle Age, but I think we're gonna look back even in 50 years from now and be like, wow, these guys were like prehistoric in the way they cure things, and now look at what we can do. So I think every single one of this is a step towards a safer and of course, Sean, preventive is always the answer for all of this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or we might look back and be like, dang, we did that.
I know, like lobotomies. Like, what are we thinking?
Young Frankenstein.
Oh yeah, sticking. What's the name of those? The leeches, the one that suck your blood from your skin.
So they actually are still in use in some cases because they
are?
can be helpful. Yeah, there are some medical. It's surprising. Like leeches, they're not a cure all for everything. I mean, I think it used to
But
be
it
like
used to
anything.
be.
Yeah,
Oh, what
they
you got? Headache? Here's 20 leech for you.
In your
But-
medicine cabinet, you had leeches ready to go. So you have a fever. I got something for that.
Yeah.
Theodoric of York, slapping a leech on people, but but I think that they still actually do use leeches in a couple of. They're surprising. They're surprising. Like when we sort of go back to the future and reassess some original cures, there was a component of utility there. But then maybe it wasn't the cure-all that people thought. Or there's even like weird, like you guys heard, maybe this is too gross, but like the poop transfers, which seems really like so odd and arguably potentially like, do we really like sort of like low tech? But yeah, so we have, because of our microbiome and what's inside of our bodies and the different bugs and microbes and stuff, that for some people who have things like IBS, actually taking poop from a healthy person and putting it into a person that needs some of that flora inside of them, that actually can help. And it seems like, well, that's sort of like old school. All you're doing is moving poop. But modern science actually will attest that in some cases it's an advanced methodology that works.
Wow. Okay. Didn't know that. I could have lived without it, but thank you very much.
Sorry.
No, but hey, I went.
Those listening live at lunchtime. There you go.
Sorry, I went on the leech, but I'm kind of like I read this book about the history. I mean, the biography of Leonardo da Vinci, and I mean, they didn't know at the time he was, doing cadavers study, and imagine how the blood will circulate in the body. I mean, we didn't know. You couldn't scan things. I mean, look at the X-ray like they used to be. So while we thought it was a cure at the time, maybe it is still a cure, but maybe there is a better way to do it.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you want to know, let's finish it on different note. You want to know why I went in with insert coins as a nickname?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
I say no.
You say no? Okay. I'm going to say it anyway.
I know you are.
This is the day in history. That's very, very quick. October 10th, 1980, there was a video game that started showing up in the arcade here in the US. Can you guess which one was? Everybody get a try.
Pac-Man?
Sean?
Boy.
1980.
1980.
Pong?
Maybe.
Not asteroids. I don't know
Oh,
what.
not-
Okay.
I'm probably going to go with Diana with Pac-Man. I'm just trying to picture that screen.
And you would have said the right thing. It was Pac-Man.
Well done, Diana.
Pac-Man Fever Begins, October 10, 1980. But it actually was created in Japan earlier than that in May and released, but it was called Pook-Man. And they changed the name because it didn't sound so good, And I think in Japan they would pronounce it in a different way with an F there anyway. But anyway, this game became the most popular. And what is interesting, it was the first video games that was targeted to women, because all the arcade games done until that day were all like about wars and space. And at the time when you thought about space and asteroids, we were talking about kids. Male, right? And as wrong as it was, but that's what people thought at the time. Well, Pac-Man was something that had success with really everyone, and they did it in that way. I guess that's why there are little pink and orange little ghosts, and to attract everyone. And
yeah.
And it's coming up Halloween, so hey, there are ghosts in there. See, I connected everything.
Pac-Man. I just played Pac-Man like about 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
And this little arcade game thing, it still stresses me the holy heck out.
Yeah. Yeah.
That game, I couldn't even, like, I couldn't wait to get it out of my hands. I was like, get this game out of here. I can't even handle it. But I don't know. It's one of the things that adds a lot of tension in my life.
I'm with you, Lynn. I don't think I ever got past like level 2 on Pac-Man, Ms. Pac-Man, any of these speed, eye-hand coordination things. I just nope. And it makes me stressed out too. It's not just that I'm bad at it. I also get like super anxious about the fact that I'm bad at it.
But you know how they got you with this? I mean, I wasn't very good at these kind of games because they're too fast, and I can't really memorize the different levels.
Yeah.
I'm more on the.
I was just going to ask. I mean, is there one way to win? And Diana, I presume you found a path that worked for you for level 1, and you did that over and over and over to get to level 2. Or did you try to do different paths to get past?
I think it was just totally random that I got past level 1.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get past level 2.
I can tell you that at least the starting path I would always take.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell
All right.
you. I'm saying that.
But I'm with you. This high speed type of game, even like Tetris, it's cute and it's fun. But the moment it starts like speeding up, I can't do it. I can't.
Yeah.
And there's people that will spend, they'll go like level 1,000,000 without even thinking about it. I'm more like very slow thinking. Let's play Dungeons and Dragons or something like that.
That's it. Yeah, give me a good strategy game. I'm like, dig in.
I'm like that. Like, Lynn, you're right. I mean, it just stresses you out. I'm like that. Plus the lights, the noise, and but I was trying to look at the numbers they made. I think.
Hey, a little fun fact about Dungeons and Dragons is that we were just up in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin, and doing a ghost tour of all things.
Nice.
Of course, everywhere I go, I try to take a little ghost tour of some sort. But I learned that Wisconsin, in this area, Lake Geneva, that there's a lot of insane asylums, like back in the day, like in the late 1800s, and that's really. A lot of doctors went there because they were studying people that, were being institutionalized, and they had lots of different asylums there. And as the city evolved and advanced, and as those asylums like shut down, they were vacant. And the creator of Dungeons and Dragons actually used to explore those vacant asylums, and they would put them and all the teenagers. They would like run amok through them, and they would like set up like war games in them, and just like teenagers back in the day used to. I'm sure they still do. Anyways, that's where Dungeons and Dragons. That's where the founder came up with the idea, or the creator came up with the idea. It was based on his childhood experiences of just exploring and these vacant properties that were all around Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So now that fun fact. When you come to the Midwest, you'll be able to check it out yourself.
Wow.
Love it.
Wow. Yeah,
Perfect.
that is very cool.
And very Halloween as well.
Yeah,
That's right.
It is.
And I think with that, we can kind of wrap it. And for once, we're not going to go
Wrap
over
it
the
like a
1
mummy.
hour.
Wrap it like a mummy.
Wrap it like a mummy.
I like to see Lena post a picture of what it looks at night. I gotta
I
see.
will. I will. Tonight I will.
I want to see that. I want to see that.
When I safely put it on my front porch with no more shenanigans. Game's over after tonight.
That's right. It's out of the pantry and on the front porch.
Yeah, don't hide it and to scare your kids anymore. Just scare the whole neighborhood. Just scale it up.
That's right.
Last year we had a lady, a UPS, and she was like on the front porch, and I was in my office, and I see her walking up, walking back, walking up, walking back. And I couldn't believe it. I walked out there. I'm like, "Can I help you?" She's like, "I am so scared. I can't do this." And I'm like,
"Oh,
wow."
But it was the mummy, and everything else was very friendly.
I actually love that you said that, because I go walk my dogs lately. Since when the month started, I kind of go when the sun started to go down, because I want to check out what the house are doing with the Halloween decorations. I want to see the lights and everything. And I thought just that, like now you have those kind of animatronic that moves and scare people and start like talking and doing some weird noises, witches and mummies. And I was thinking, like, can you imagine the UPS, the Amazon people, the USPS that they have to go through like all the porches and go in the homes, and they're like all surrounded by little scary cemetery and witches and and I love that you said that, because I was just thinking about that one. Love it. And on that tone, I think when we publish this as a podcast, I'll add some Halloween noise to it, so make it more scary.
We're gonna spice it up.
I will. I put the ghost on the other episode. If you haven't heard that, episode 18, when with Chloe Mistagi, we talk about, she said she's a ghost. I did a special effect there. So if you haven't heard that, people, go for it. And if you enjoy this, tell your friends. Join us next Thursday at noon o'clock Pacific Standard Time for the live recording. And then, of course, we put it on the podcast. And Sean, anything to add to this?
Boo.
Boo.
We're getting close to Halloween. No, it's thrilled to have Lynn on. Lynn, thanks for being a guest today and sharing a little bit about WiCyS and all the great stuff that you're doing to help the cybersecurity community stay connected, and even more so with the new innovations and developments you made. So thanks for being part of this one today.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. I always love our time able to catch up with each other. So this was great. And it's, and we'll keep in touch, definitely on Twitter. We're all out there, and I'll be listening to Through the TechVine on and on. So
just don't scare us too much on Twitter.
We'll follow the story of the mummy.
It should have its own Twitter account at this point.
Fantastic. Well, same time next week, everybody.
All right.
Thanks for joining
Sean,
us here.
keep the music.
Yep.
Peace.
Blue Lava is the first business platform for CISOs to manage their security program. Blue Lava guides security leaders to effectively measure, optimize, and communicate their security program with confidence and ease in one platform. Learn more at bluelava.net. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Through the TechVine podcast. If you learned something new and this podcast made you think, then share itspmagazine.com with your friends, family, and colleagues. If you represent a company and wish to associate your brand with our conversations, sponsor one or more of our podcast channels. We hope you will come back for more stories and follow us on our journey. You can always find us at the intersection of technology, cybersecurity, and society.